What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. This is another Beyond the Click and Cliff with a podcast for you today. Something to listen to while you work, you do whatever you got to do. You have me on the background. Maybe I can make you smile, laugh, and tell you a good story or my thoughts and opinions on some things. And I know this ain't really Lego content, but I am a Lego content creator, and this is just something I do because I want to share stories and something beyond the Click and Cliff channel. Um, but we're starting out in November. I believe this is November 3rd. We just got done with Halloween and spooky season and stuff like that, and I did the spooky series all month. Hope you enjoyed them. But we're transcending into November and to Thanksgiving, and we should really consider what we're thankful for, stuff like that. But guys, last year I was telling you what I was thankful for in my life experiences at Thanksgiving dinners and stuff like that with the family. But this is just a holiday season, is what I call it. You got how I don't know if you would consider Halloween a holiday, but it's something to do with the family. Then you got Thanksgiving. Then of course you got Christmas and the New Year's. So these next 4 months are pretty busy for everybody, and my life ain't no different. It's gonna be busy. But I still try. I still got. Want to try to bring you some good stuff. But anyway, today I'd like to speak with you guys or talk about do we take things for granted? um I me and my wife had these discussions a lot. We talk to each other and we say, do we take each other for granted? Do we just expect them to be here and stuff like that? And I think in my time here on planet Earth, I can see where she's coming from, because we do expect our our partners to be there, or friends, or or something. But when they're not, it's really strange, and it's because I believe that we thought that we just kind of take them for granted, and that they're going to be there, and then one day they're not. And trust me, it's happened to me more than once. It is a shock to your system. Growing up, I had my parents all my life, and I took them for granted. Kids do that. Kids doesn't know better. I don't believe that. They've been taught, and you know don't take things for granted. But do they really understand what that means? Because when I was growing up, I can almost guarantee you where my dad was, where my mom was. I took granted that they were going to be there when I got home from school, and I took for granted that my dad's going to come home from work, and we're going to be doing chores around the house. I've taken granted and everything, and it still follows me in the adulthood, where I take my wife for granted. She could probably leave me anytime she wants, and I'll be shocked. Be shocked, because I joke around about my wife, but in all seriousness, I love my wife. I couldn't make it through a day without my wife. She does a lot for me. She's a soldier. But my case is different. I do have a disability that I do need my wife's help on stuff, and I'm not using that as a sympathy getter or anything like that. But I tell my wife, maybe I do take you for granted, because if you did leave, I would probably suffer a great deal, and it would not be fun. So I tried here lately not to take her for granted, you know, and I tell you what, it's different, But like I said, I guarantee, I took granted that my parents was going to be here forever. When you're young, you don't think about death. And I'm not trying to bring this down where to scare people or anything like that, but the cost of living is dying. That's a debt that everybody pays. Um, and and I tell you what, my mom, she passed away suddenly. She had some health issues, but there was no signs that she was going to pass away. And she passed away, and that's a culture. That was a shock because I took her for granted, like she was going to be here tomorrow, and then she wasn't. And then, not maybe a month later, my dad got diagnosed with lung cancer. So that was another shock. And the doctors tell him, it's not the length of time, it's the quality of what you have left. And I tell you what, you get faced with that kind of news, it's scary. And some of y'all may know how I feel, at that moment. It was a shocker. It was a shocker. I took my parents for granted so long, and before I knew it, that they passed on, and I'm like, wow. And yes, I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to make this podcast a sad one because I'm trying to be uplifting and stuff, and it was heavy on my heart this last weekend, and I wanted to tell you all about it. I thought about my parents and how I took them for granted growing up, and I'll hear things from my friends, from other family members that I see that they're taking their family for granted. And I fall in the same boat. They take stuff for granted like they're going to be here tomorrow, and next thing you know, it may not necessarily be the case. And I just don't. And I have a lot of what do you call it, disappointment in myself because there was opportunities I could have had to spend that extra time with them, and I chose I need to get out of here. They're driving me nuts. My mom harping on me on stuff. I was like, I just want to go back to my house and just let them just leave. And I'd find an excuse to go back to my house. This is after I was married, and then I started thinking about them things. I could have just stayed there for another few minutes. And I think that's natural for everybody. And it's easy to take for granted your loved ones and stuff. And my advice is not to try to change that avenue because that has been an experience, and I think we just that's the thing I've been trying to hear lately. I've been spending more time with the family instead of online. Some of my friends give me crap over it, but I love them dearly. I love my friends too. I try to spend time with both sides. I Like I said, this whole last month we were watching movies and we were watching scary movies. Halloween time, so we've been watching a movie almost every night. There's only a couple nights during the week that we don't watch. Nights when I'm streaming, hanging out with my friends, or I might be in the backstage, but it won't be till after we're done with the movie. Which they well now you show up. Well, yeah, I know. But I've been trying to change that aspect of my life. Trying to spend more time with my family, not taking for granted. Do these little things. If it's not me making memories for myself, it's my kid is having memories. So when I'm gone, she can think back of, hey, you know what? My dad took time out for me, and that's what I'm hoping. Hoping that I'm accomplishing in life, and that she don't have no doubt. That she didn't take me for granted, and she probably does, and that's fine. I think that's perfectly fine. But we been watching the movies, and my daughter, she's liking this because she's got it scheduled for each month. I think November we're doing survival week, so any kind of survival movies we're watching during November. Of course, December it's Christmas movies, and January it's a certain theme that we're watching, drama, I think, or based on true event movies, and so on and so forth. And she's got it an app on her phone where she's been doing that, so it's gonna be fun. I spend time in my Lego room as well, and I do try to spend my time with other people too. My wife. We just went through our 23rd wedding anniversary, and that's when I thought, man, 23 years is a long time to be with somebody. We had our ups and we had our downs, but we're still pursuing, we're persevering, and that's the thing is, we're persevering and stuff like that. But there's things I know I need to change, and I take a lot of stuff for granted, and I need to stop. I need to work on that. There's things that I'm not perfect. I need to work on things as well, but I am thankful for my friends. I am thankful for my family. I'm thankful for all the good times I had growing up. I'm thankful for all you guys, of course. You guys are awesome, great support system. I wished I could meet every single one of you, and I do plan on doing that at one point. Try to, because I tell you that it's just one of those things. I guess I don't know. But if we take you for, taking things for granted, like I guarantee, I take for granted that I'm going to buy Lego this month. And something could happen where I can't buy any. Who knows? But yeah, like I said, I definitely don't want this podcast to be a bummer or make you up in your feelings. I try to be positive, but I do like to talk about the things that I think about. And these things I do think about sometimes. Sometimes I go, man, maybe I should have done something different this time around. I'll tell you on myself, I get a little aggravated. I might have a little temper every now and then. I'm like a firecracker. I blow up and then I'm done after that. But it happens. That's how we roll. But yeah, I'm trying to work on that. But yeah, I tell you, it's just been this life experience stuff's been a roller coaster ride. And I know that there's people don't agree on everything. People don't see it the same way I see it, and that's fine. Opinions are great. That's if we're all the same, this life would be boring. When somebody has a difference of opinion, it's all good. They have every right to have their own opinion. But just don't take things for granted. Try not to. That's what I've been working on. Sometimes I fail. It's like the war thing. You just got to fight battles and win the battles before you can win the war. Don't try to win the war on the first day, because I guarantee you that you're not going to do it. It's going to be the battles. You win the day, not the whole thing. You just got to keep winning and working. And that's what I've been trying to convey to anybody that will listen to me. But guys, I'm going to leave this one with you. This is the first one of Thanksgiving series. I don't know if I'm going to have a series this year in Thanksgiving, but we're going to try to do a motivational kind of thing, and I'm going to try to purvey that. And I know today may have been a little like, man, this guy went dark and deep on us today. I'm just telling you how, like I said, this podcast is life experiences, feelings, opinions, stuff that's on my brain that I just want to talk to you guys with. So that's all this is about. I do still want to tell you some stories in my life, and that's all good. I have millions and millions. Guys, I appreciate each and every one of you. Guys, remember, be somebody's light in somebody's darkest cloud. Something you say to them positively and nice, you could bring them out of a deep depression, maybe. You at least can put a smile on their face for that moment. Tell them life, it ain't going to be that bad. Do unto others that you want done to yourself. Treat others how you want to be treated. Best way to do it. Don't just smile. Give somebody compliments. Say, hey, you look nice. And by the way, you look nice. Guys, until the next one, take care. Pay forward. See you on the next one.